Good day, everyone. So, today we shall be looking at symbols for numbers. And by the end of this lesson, we should be able to write Roman and Indo-Arabic numerals correctly. And also, we should be able to use simple number codes for phrases and sentences. So, let's dive in. Numbers are everywhere. We use numbers on clocks, on buses. We use numbers for book chapters. We use it in our phone to get our phone numbers. We use it for a lot of things. But do you know that different civilizations invented different symbols to represent the same numbers we are talking about? However, today we use two major numeral system or number system, which are the Roman numerals and the Indo-Arabic numerals. So we shall be looking into these two system of numbers, and we also learn how to use their codes in writing phrases and sentences. All right, so let's start with the first one, and that is the Indo-Arabic numerals. The Indo-Arabic numerals is the one we are using today in our world today. In fact, it uses 10 digits as its place value system. Okay, and that is from 0 to 9. Okay, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These numbers are called the Indo-Arabic numerals, and they have their place values system as well. For example, if you have 3582 written together, in the place value, we know that the 3 there represent 3,000, and the 5 represent 500, the 8 there represent 8 tens, and the 2 represent the 2 units. So this number system is known as the Indo-Arabic numerals. All right. On the other hand, we have the second type, which is called the Roman numerals. The Roman numerals are number system that originated in the ancient Rome. That's what they used in the ancient Rome those days. So instead of using 0 to 9 system, it makes it of 7 letters. So this type of numeral system makes it of 7 letters from the Latin alphabet. Okay? And each represents a fixed value. Each letter represents a fixed value. When you combine these letters, you can get different values. Alright? So we use Roman numerals in our world today still. Okay? We use it in movie, we use it in writing years. For example, now you can say Queen Elizabeth II. You can say class 1, class 2, class 3. So we also use it for a lot of things in our world today, just like we use the Indo-Arabic. So just like we have 0 to 9 for Indo-Arabic, we have 7 letters for the Roman numeral. Let us consider it. So the first one is I. In Roman numeral, I represents 1. The second letter is V. The V there represents number 5 in Indo-Arabic. The third one is the X. The X represents 10 in Indo-Arabic, while it is X in Roman numeral. The fourth one in the 7 basic symbol for Roman numeral is L, and L represents 50. The fifth one is C. C represents 100. The sixth one is letter D, represents 500. And the seventh Roman numeral, the last one, is known as M, which represents 1000. But then, after a little development, an advancement took place, and this V, which is 5, can now be translated into 5000 by putting a bar on it. So V bar is 5000. So V bar in Roman numeral is 5000 in Indo-Arabic. We also have the X bar. X is 10, but the bar there on it represents 1,000, okay? Multiplied by 1,000. So X bar represents 10,000, just like V bar represents 5,000, okay? But majorly, we make it of the 7 letters for Roman numeral. These are just recent development. When you have V bar, whatever you place bar on means multiplied by 1,000, okay? But majorly, the accepted one for now is for V and X. So we have V bar, which is 5,000. We have X bar, which is 10,000. All right? And then there are two core rules or two major rules that you must know when you are dealing with Roman numerals. The first rule says that when a symbol of equal or lesser value follows another, then you add them. That's the addition rule. So in the previous slide, I is lesser than V, right? So if you, for instance, put I and V together, okay, let's take a little example here. Now, if you have something like this, maybe you have I and then you have V. Now you could see that I is coming before V. In this case, you cannot add them because I is lesser than V. But if it is VI, then the addition will say that you can add this because if V is bigger than I, V is 5, I is 1. So if the bigger one comes before the lesser one, then you can add. So VI here simply means 6. Why this IV? Whenever the lesser one comes before, subtract, means 5 minus 1, which is 4. Okay, so that is the rule of addition and the rule of subtraction. When the lesser one follows the bigger one, you add. But when a smaller symbol appeared before the larger one, like you have IV here, then you subtract. All right, so it's very, very, these two rules help us in writing different kind of values using Roman numeral. All right, let us see some tables of Roman numeral. Like we have said before, for I means 1. So I means 2, that's 1 plus 1. Remember the rule, whenever the letter, the bigger number, or if the two numbers are equal, if the two letters are equal, you add them together. Okay, if they are equal or the one in front is bigger, you add up. Okay, you can see I, it was 2. Now you have I, that's 3, that's 1 plus 1 plus 1, but I is 1. But when it comes to writing 4, remember that V represents 5, while I represents 1. Now, whenever the smaller one comes before the bigger value, you subtract. This will be 5 minus 1, which is 4. We do not say, in Roman numeral, we don't write I, and I. We don't do that. Okay? Highest we could do is 3 or similar number. Okay? 3 of it. When you get into 4, you move to the next one. All right? So, very important that you take note of that. So, here now, 4 is 5 minus 1, which is 4. Y5 is V. 6 is 5 plus 1. You see, when the smaller one is in front, you add up. So V plus 1 is 6. 7 will be V I. That means 5 plus 1 plus 1, which is 7. 8 is also V I. That's 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. Okay. 9 would be 10 minus 1. Remember, I is 1 and it's coming before the bigger number, so you subtract. We do not write, we cannot say that we write V, like I said earlier, and then you put I, and I. No, we don't do that because our letter must not be more than 3, will not appear more than 3 consecutively. So to write 9, all you need to do is to subtract 1 from 10. That's why we have ix. That is 10 minus 1, that's 9. And of course, we know that 10 is x. 20 is 10 plus 10, that's xx. It's allowed because it's still within the rule. 30 is xxx, so 10 plus 10 plus 10, that's 30. 40 cannot be xxxx because it's going to be more than 3 letters, same letters. So we're going to be xl because L there is 50, x is 10, that means 50 minus 10 is 40. Then L is 50, okay? So of course 60 is LX, that 50 plus 10, that's 60. Then 17 is LXX, 50 plus 10 plus 10, that's 70. Then of course 80 is LXXX, 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus, that's 8. 90, we're going to be 100 minus 10 because 100 is C. So it's going to be XC. And then 110 will be CX, okay? 200 will be 60, right? 100 plus 100. 300 will be 666. That's 100 plus 100 plus 100. 400 is going to be CD, that is 500 minus 100. D they represent 500. And it's going to be CD because the lesser one is coming before the bigger one, so you subtract. So, but now 500 is D, 600 is now DC because it's going to be 500 plus 100. And again, because the bigger number comes before the smaller number, so you add up. The 900 is CM because M is 1000, C is 100, so 1000 minus 100, that's 900, okay? And then 1000 is M. Of course, 1001 will be 1100 rather will be 1000 plus 100, that is MC. 2000 will be 1000 plus 1000, that is MMM. Okay, and this 3000 is MMMM. Okay, that's 1000 plus 1000 plus 1000. Then 4000 is MMMM. Now this is violating the rule, but it's still acceptable. But the proper way to write 4000 is this. Just write your, our by definition, we know 4 is IV, this one here. So if 4 is IV, then 4 times 1000, that will give us 4000. So it's going to be 4000 by real symbol is IV bar. So this is the proper way of writing 4000. This is no longer invoke again. It says in the past that we write 4000 this way. Roman numeral only allow same letter to be repeated 3 times. Okay, all right. So going forward, 5000 is V bar. Okay, 10,000 is X bar. Okay, instead of saying V bar, okay, 10,000 can also be expressed as V bar anyway. So you can still express, your 10,000 as V bar, just V bar. Okay, it's 5000 plus 5000. Okay, but the most accepted one is X bar. So this is just a table for Roman numerals that guide our rules of addition. All right, that guide our rules for addition. Okay, so moving forward, let's see more example. Look at this now. Write 2732 in Roman numerals. Okay, 2732 is in Hindu. Okay, it's in Indo-Arabic, so we have to write it in Roman numeral. Very simple. First thing is to break the Indo-Arabic into its place value. Now, 2000, okay, it's written out, the place value. 7 there in its place value is 700. 3 there is in its place value is 30. Y2 is 2 units. So having broken them down into their place value, then 2000 in Roman numeral is MM. 700 in Roman numeral is DCC, that's 500 plus 100 plus 100. Y30 in Roman numeral is XXX, and 2 is II. So combining these 3 together, you have your result to be mm plus d, that's mm, that's 2000, plus dcc, then plus xxl plus iii. Okay, and that will give us the result that we have here. Okay, so that's our result. See it here. This is the result here. MMMDCC X X X X I I combined. You just remove the plus sign, and this is the Roman numeral version of the Indo-Arabic. All right. So that's a fantastic example for us to understand. Okay. So moving on, we also see another one here. In this case, we have the Roman numeral now. We have to write it in Indo-Arabic. Here we have MCM. So first thing is to take note what the first letter there, that's M. Now there's a little bit confusion here. If you're not careful, you will get confused. So now we have MCM. M represents 1000, C represents 100, and M represents 1000 again. So the first thing to take note of is the lesser value here, which is C, 100. You have to consider the letter in front of it before the one behind it. Okay. Now, if you don't know that rule, there is this temptation that you might want to say, okay, this M is 1000, then you mistakenly write 1000. Okay, write 1000 for this, and you go ahead to say, okay, C is 100, and you say plus 100. So this is a big mistake, plus 100, then you do this. This is not correct. And then you put again, M is 1000, say plus 1000. No, this is a very big error. You don't do this because the rule does not permit this. Okay, this is not allowed. This is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. What you need to do here is the letter in front of the smaller value should be considered, and that is 1000. So that's what you consider first. So that will be 1000 minus 100. So this CM represents 900. Okay. So coming forward, so you have to consider with CM. CM is 900, and the first M there is 1000. So the value is 1000. That's 1000 plus 900. So it's going to be 1900. So our final answer is 1900. Okay, so very clear, right? So I will say that let's go to the number codes. A number code replaces each letter of the alphabet, okay, with a number. We see the alphabets in English they are over 26. So A represents 1, B represents 2, C represents 3, and so on like that until the last one, Z26. So we can use this number code to write sentence or phrase. Okay? Alright, so let us see how that works. Look at this. You have a word, mass. And in our code for sentence, we know that M there represents 13. Go back to our code. Our M is 13. So our A in that code is 1. T is 20. H is 8. And S is 19. You go to that code. Now, if you replace all of this letter with the numbers, we'll be having 13, 1, 20, 8, 19. So we have just coded this mass with this word 13, 1, 20, 8, 19. The same applies to Nigeria. Go to our code table. N represents 14, I represents 9, G represents 7, E represents 5, R represents 18, and then I represent 9 rather, R represent 18, then A represents 1. So replacing all of these letters with their number code, we having 14, 9, 7, 5, 18, 18, 9, 1. Okay, very, very simple code. The same applies to the third example. In this case is the reverse case. You're now changing the numbers into a word. So if you have a letter like this, a number like this, 9, 12, 15, 22, 5, slash 13, 1, 28, 19, and you have to decode this, what do? Go back to your table. What does 9 represent? 9 represents letter I. Okay, 12 represent L, 15 represent O, 22 represent V, and 5 represent E. So you're going to, and then 10 represent M, 1 represent A, 20 represent T, 8 represent H, and 19 represent X. So simply it means I love maths. I love maths. Okay, very, very straightforward. I love maths. So it can be the other way around. It could be that you're giving the word or the sentence, you put it into code. That's coding. Or you'll be given the letter, or you'll be given the number as well, and you expect to decode by changing it to letters. So whichever way, all you need to do is to go back to your table, make sure you know their numbers, and then you apply it as appropriate. All right, so we shall be drawing the curtain here. But before that, I have some assignment for you from question 1 to 5 based on what we have learned today. I hope with this assignment, you will be able to, train yourself more on this topic. All right. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.